Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the tangle Cirli from CZT Diana Linsse, and I hope I pronounced that right. Okay, this is an interesting one. Really is. Oh, wrong pen. I mean, not wrong. I mean, it would just be rather thick if I used that one. I just grabbed the first thing my hand came to. There it is. Okay, so first off, this one starts with, well, I was going to say diagonal lines, but it just depends on what direction you want these to go. I'm going to go ahead and go diagonal and leave a little bit of space, maybe, pen width-ish in between. And do they have to be straight? No. All right. Then I'm going to pick the middle one. And on either side, it's just going to be like a big continuous S shape. And I'm going to attempt to mirror it. Honestly, I don't think you need to. Like all things Zentangle, of course not. You don't need to. All right. From here, and we're going to work on either side of this line. In these, I'm just going to start here. In this big section, we're going to put a nice orb or a circle, and because that kind of goes with the name. And here is going to be kind of a partial. There we go. And here will be a sort of kind of partial also. And we'll go ahead and do it on the other side. Same thing. This one looks like it's extra complicated because there's a lot going on, but it's a really nice one in that you can kind of lose yourself with it because the steps really aren't that hard. Okay, now that you have these orbs, and because I like to start in the center, I'm going to start in the center. We're going to essentially aura that side, the orb. And so what I started doing with this is I went about midway and then working the other direction. And then just, however the middle lays out is however the middle lays out. I mean, because we kind of have to do something because we can't continue to have this be this direction and then all of a sudden, boom, here's the other direction. So I found that worked best for me. All right. Yeah, and so like I said, there's so much repetition and it's so nice because, like I said, then you can lose yourself. All right, same thing on, let me get one aura up here. All right, same thing on this other side. Kind of creates an interesting dimension too, having them curving to both sides. I didn't do this in my version of the step out, but because it's just occurring to me now. You could totally play with that, maybe with the graphite, put some graphite in the middle there. Maybe we'll try that. Okay. Huh. Stay still. Okay, next, we're going to aura both sides. For this, I do find it easiest to have my pen not covering, so like not doing it this way. That's why I flip the tile midway, so that way I can see what I'm doing. Best chances for success. All right, and then guess what? Rinse and repeat. So this aura line becomes like that first line that we did. I'm almost thinking you could probably do, you know, do the squiggly line and then aura it. There's a lot of things like that because there's nothing that interferes if you went ahead and did that aura. So that's completely up to you. And it might not be a bad idea because then if you're already kind of in the groove of the, see, and then I want to kind of mirror this, and I have trouble. This is where it doesn't matter. Like I said, I don't think it interferes with anything if you decided to, like, okay, and so we'll just do it. And just go ahead and aura it and be done with it, right? Let's see. And two, it still doesn't matter if you line things up, you know, like this. It's just, you know, the orbs are going to be where they're going to be, and it's going to be fine. And actually, as I do, take a look at the For More Inspiration link for those examples. And she has one where just taking this kind of as a fragment, that just the center. And it looks like it's kind of like hollowed out. She has some other ones hollowed out going other directions. So there's tons of extra fun that you could do with this. All right, since I'm on that, let's see if I was going, you know, and I could do like this, right? Air draw, pick it up wherever it's going to be. It's still going to be off because that's the way it is. All right, like that. All right, so yeah, it's just going to end up being interesting. So let's, oh, I should finish this, shouldn't I? There we go. You know, and honestly, it would be fun to do it crazy style, and that's, you know, on purpose. Not, oh, let's just see where this goes. And as I was doing this one, the neat thing that struck me was the lack of need for perfection in this. I think that the kind of crazier it is, the more whimsical, the neater it is. And let's see, let's do there, here. You know, sometimes you just have to guess. Okay, where is that orb going to be, or is it going to be? I'm also attempting to start on that line because there's already a couple where I didn't do that and I missed, you know, coming back around. But I just thought, what a unique looking tangle this is, and we have to do it. All right, now for all of the curve lines. And actually, while I do these curve lines, I mentioned the end stuff that I usually do. I'll do it now because it's also good to you know, do things a little out of order. It's good for the neural pathways, all that kind of jazz. So in the description section, as I mentioned, you will find links to the step outs. I always do my own version, and then link to the creator of the tangle because I think it is so important to see it. And oh, that line could have been continued. Then below that, if you are enjoying this, and you know, when we're done, I hope, or if you need to stretch your fingers, which is a good idea when you have a lot of this repetitive, good to take an eyeball break and focus, you know, look across the room, maybe look up, find something to focus on. I need to do that myself. And take a little eyeball break, stretch your fingers, breathe, all that kind of stuff. And while you do that, if you're enjoying this, do click on the like button. And then if you like it enough to see more, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. So in underneath the step out links in the description section, you will find my link tree. So if you enjoy this and you'd like to come and tangle with me online and with the rest of the Tangle Addicts, we would love to have you join us. I do free sessions every week on Thursdays. It's called Tangle Time. And it's just an hour. I do it twice on Thursdays, 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And so in that link tree is all of my links. It's such a neat program. And there are a couple links where you can follow me for classes. And the advantage of doing that is that you see it in your time zone, number one. And then two, if you register or like, on Facebook, if you click going, then you'll get reminders and stuff like that. Let's see. Well, and speaking of our Tangle Addicts community, we have a Tangle Addicts group on Facebook. So if you'd like to join us there for the fun, click that link and then answer the 4 questions. And once you do that, and I get a little notice, so then I go and make sure that they're answered in the right direction. And then I will click to accept you, and then just let the fun begin, because it's such a wonderful group. It's a nice, safe space to, post your work, and let us, because we like to gush over everything. So, let us do that. It's so much fun because we like to see what everybody's doing. Okay. So again, join us there. And let me think what else. Next, and I suppose you could probably decorate them however you wish, but following Diana's step out, and as the way I like to do, we'll start here in the middle. And she has, a thick band. And then if you take a look at Linda Farmer's little thumbnail, if you go to the description section, right, and look at the step out, she put, let me look again. Well, yeah, some she had one, some she put like an X in there. So, of course, you can decorate it however you wish. I'm just going to alternate the direction of these, filling them in and leaving a little shine in the middle because it looks cool. Yeah, this one is a neat one again, because there's so much repetitiveness. And I suppose I probably could have made these bigger, but I kind of like this. But so much repetitiveness in it. It's so nice. I don't know, and I just think it is such an interesting fill-in tangle. And I think I'm going to try it. Well, when it gets out here, it's going to be just interesting. Go opposites. This is one definitely that you wouldn't have to, wouldn't necessarily have to go back and look at the step outs, and that I like these kind for that reason. It's just nice to have some of these in your brain, and then different, like I said, different things like this. And then when we do the shading, oh my goodness, it's going to be amazing. All right. And then, the ones that are kind of in the middle, it's like, well, I get to decide which way, maybe kind of a little bit more across. Ooh, I just had this thought all of a sudden. If you've done the Tangle Jetties, So you could, I mean, like I said, you could fill these in anyway, but all of a sudden I'm thinking, oh yeah, I could totally fill this in like we do. Oh, like, which way do I want to go? This way. Like jetties. And because that one starts with usually a couple lines or a band at different places, it's a really neat tangle. And it's just the orbs. Oh, this one could be neat. It could, that could be an interesting pairing, even though it has, that one has orbs in it, but I could see doing something like this and then having the orbs like spilling out into a pile of jetties or something. Anyway. Yeah, these ones you can just kind of get lost in are so fun. It is neat. Oh, I'm glad I went that direction because then, and not that I couldn't go and repeat a direction, but that one worked out well. And this one we'll just put a little bit in there. Okay. I apparently like to make up rules for myself as I'm, well, not just tangling. It's just the way it is. I'm going to do this way. I'm going to do that way. And again, because it's so repetitive, right? Make sure to take an eyeball break. Have a hand stretch. And by the way, speaking of hand stretch, something I learned from pianist, and she would exercise her finger. I don't know if you can see, with little circles. So starting with your thumb, then going to your first finger, and then your second. You're working your way down the hand from your pinky to your thumb, and then coming back the other way with the circles on each finger. And that was kind of like her warm up. I don't know if other people do that or not, that play, but I started doing them going, oh yeah, it feels good. So just as, outside of just stretching your hands, because, oh, look at what I did. Because, we want to not have the death grip and stuff like that. And so maybe just, a little finger exercise. Keep them loose, keep them limber. So you're not going on the pen. Not that I know anything about that. Oh no, I don't have the death grip issues. No. Just like I never break a nib on a pen because I've been jamming it into the paper. Sometimes as I've worked through that, I don't necessarily have the I'm not pushing so hard on it, but I'm grabbing the barrel of it, and that, of the pen, and that, that's the same thing. But I've gotten to the point where I'm not necessarily pushing it in. I just have to get to where I can maybe hold the pen lightly. It's not going to run away. It really is not. So funny. All right, we'll pretend like one is here too and do that. Oops, and then that, oh, no, that's in the middle. Okay, so there we have it. Like I said, it's such an interesting look. All right, let's do some shading. Oh, and while there are a ton of ways to do it, and I have two things I want to try. Oh, let's just start over here, or actually right here. I'm going to put graphite on either side of that double curve line that we have. And of course, I'm going to do one side at a time, because I might just like it with one side instead of doing both sides. And I also want to keep the tip of the pencil on the line. I don't want to go over. At least I try not to go over. I think I did someplace. Okay, should let that dry a little bit. Okay, holding this a little bit more steady. There we go. And probably could go darker. You can see the difference between this side and this. It's just amazing. And I'm just using the regular number 2 type pencil that comes with the Zentangle kit. But we do have, oh, you know what? I'll try it on the other side. We'll have depth on one side. That'll be interesting. Okay, so this is the 555 Generals. Wait, will that look silly? No, you know what? No. No, you know what? I'm going to save that. I'm sorry. Got your hopes up. Sorry about that. I am going to try it, though, in the middle. Maybe not all of them, but maybe something like right here. Because I had mentioned, because you can see it, it's giving it a different, what do I want to call it? It's giving it some depth there. Some bendiness, my technical word. You know, here in the centers of those. And I was thinking to emphasize that and see where we can go. Because this is, you know, is kind of popping up those double lines, the rails. Okay, this one. If you're using a Zentangle tile, or if another paper that, you know, it's a cotton paper, sometimes it's a good idea to wait a little bit, you know, because like where it's where you put a lot of ink, just so that way, because I can feel it pulling as I'm going through. And sometimes it'll rip the paper and stuff like that. That turns out interesting. Actually, let me move this a little bit. There we go. Yeah, you know, I could probably go just a little darker. And that's the nice thing, you know, go light, because you can always add more. Actually, I'm not going to use that. Let's use a different Tortillion. That one is getting a little, the tip was getting a little bad. Yes, look at the difference that makes. I moved the light because it kind of, I don't know if it's saturation is the right word. Oops, wrong one. We'll at least get just the center one a little bit darker. And I keep going over the line. Oh well, darn it. Yeah, like that. Okay, so here's what I want to try. Now I'm going to use that 555 layout pencil from Generals. But this is what I was thinking. Just in the middle there. Because it really looks like it's dipping down. And it probably needs to be darker. I mean, this is darker just naturally. And you know, the challenge, well, let's see if I can get that. Yeah, it's interesting. It's not what I was thinking, but, you know, it's interesting. That's why I did just the middle. So that way, if I don't really care for it, then I can just leave it at that. And that's what I'm going to do. The challenge that I find with shading where you have auraed lines is that it looks more like a fill-in. And especially if they're narrow like that, because it seems like it'll go up, you know, to a line, and it just looks like it's filled in, and the gradient doesn't take effect. Whoops, sorry, as much. But there we go. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to leave it that way. But you can see, yeah, how much darker that is. And so that makes it very impressive on those others. Really neat. And actually, too, that made this center bit stand out a little bit more with by putting that in the middle like that. Interesting. All right. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this. And again, if you have, please click the like button. If you liked it enough to see more, please click to subscribe to the channel. I already mentioned the stuff in below those links, the link tree. So do check that out. And with that, thanks so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.